Austin Mayor Steve Adler encouraging everyone in our community to cover your face properly if it's absolutely necessary to leave your home, a guideline officials are now urging families to follow. We know a lot of you have questions about it and other issues regarding COVID-19 right here in Austin, so we're going to get answers this morning from Austin Mayor Steve Adler. Joining us via Skype this morning, Mayor Adler, thank you so much for being with us. And let's begin with that. Face masks, face coverings. The city now recommending everyone wear these coverings while out in public. Is that correct?
It is, and it's consistent with the CDC recommendation nationally. But to differentiate, it's not for masks. We shouldn't be wearing masks, those N95 masks. We should be donating. They should be for first responders and the frontline medical people. But the rest of us, we should be wearing face coverings. And it doesn't have to be elaborate. You can make one out of a T-shirt. You could use a bandana. Go online. You can find an iTunes, a YouTube video that tells you how to make one in 30 seconds from things that you have around the house. The important thing about that is still you have to maintain the 6 feet. Second thing that's real important is that it doesn't really protect you from getting the virus, but it makes it less likely that you might give it to someone else if you don't know that you have it. So when you go into the grocery store, the best thing you could do for all the people working in the grocery store is to wear a mask. Helps protect them. But if everybody around you, like I said, if everyone around you is wearing a mask, well, then you'll get some added protection yourself.
Adler, it's also over the weekend we heard from Police Chief Brian Manley recommending officers and all first responders do this as well. Is that something they're able to do at this point? Are the materials there for them that they will need?
Yes, for first responders, for EMS, we're trying to get those N95 masks, provide a little bit greater protection. But really, any one of us can make the face covering. I took a T-shirt here and I just cut it and folded it over, put some rubber bands on it, and you can put it on, and it takes just seconds to make. And you can do it from around the house. So any one of us can do it, which is why we're recommending that everybody in the city now, if you're going to go outside, make yourself a face covering, and we should all be doing that.
They are relatively easy to make, Mayor Adler. I see yours there as well. Now, we do know there are 484 confirmed cases. Tragically, 6 people in our area have died from this virus. We know about the group of UT students. Are you seeing any other indications that there are clusters of virus, or is it still pretty spread out, as you know?
Mostly it's spread out in the city. We are monitoring I think a little over a half dozen potential clusters to be able to watch, and we'll continue doing that so that we're on top of this. But generally speaking, it's spread through our community. A lot of people have it, don't even know that they have it, but they can still infect others even if they're asymptomatic. It's hitting all ages. Most of the people that have it in our city are between 20 and 39. So it's going to come to all of us. But if we maintain the social distancing and flatten that curve, then our hospital and healthcare system is going to be able to handle the load when it comes.
A lot of people losing their jobs, Mayor Adler. We've talked about this over the last several days. We saw a lot of funds raised over the last few days as well. What help is now available from a city perspective for these people who are struggling, looking for work?
Well, we know that with the crisis of the virus, we have obviously a medical crisis, but we have a huge economic crisis at the same time. We have a lot of people that have lost their jobs. The federal government has checks that are now coming to a lot of people, but not to everybody. And in this city, the city council is going to be meeting later this week. I anticipate that we're going to take some action to try and get some relief to those folks that might not be getting money from our assistance from the federal government. But we've stopped evictions. We've made sure that utilities won't be turned off for people. And we're helping with short-term loans for small businesses to tide them over till the SBA money is available. We're going to bring a lot to bear. We're going to get a lot of money from the federal government, and we're going to put it to the best use in our community for the people that need it the most.
Mayor Adler, real quick, before we let you go, one more question I had for you. We've heard on a national level a lot of people expecting this to be a particularly bad week. Do you have any indication that Austin will see any kind of a rise in cases or any issues along those lines this week particularly?
You know, different parts of the country are having their peak at different points in time. New York is reporting that they anticipate having their peak this week. And some of the cities that were hit hard and hit fast and hit early anticipated to have their peak this week. Austin has spread this out a little bit, so it's not going to be quite as intense, we hope, if everyone maintains the discipline. But that also means that our peak might not come to us until the end of April or early May. That's what the old model showed. We're rerunning that model. We should get a new model out here within the next day or two, and we'll take a look at those numbers. But no, Austin's going to continue to climb. We just hope we don't climb that fast. But this week is not going to be our peak week.
Mayor Adler, as always, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate you being with us here on Daybreak this morning.